Hello there and welcome. Are you a perfectionist that just likes to have everything just right? I can identify, and the thing is, it can lead to procrastination. If we want everything to be just 100% right, it can lead to big pressure on ourselves and lead to avoiding finishing it, not completing it, procrastinating on getting it going, or going along on the journey to do the thing that we said we wanted to do. It's often a big thing for people who write books, blogs, want to make a video, create a course, put something out there in the world, because if it's not right, we feel like it's not good enough, and then people won't like it or accept it or will judge it. So all of those things are emotional reasons for procrastination, and all the clever strategies in the world will probably not help us to get it done if those emotions are sitting under the surface. So if there's something that you would like to get done, like write your book, write a blog, write a social media post, but you're procrastinating on it because you want it to be perfect, join me for a little bit of tapping right now. I may use some points that you're not familiar with, and just follow along or change it to use the points that you like and enjoy. So let's get going. So before we start, just keep tapping and think of that thing that you think or that you want to have perfect. Think of the blog post, think of the video that you want to make, think of the book that you're busy writing, and you just want it to be so perfect. Notice what happens in your body. What shows up? Where is the tension? Is there some kind of discomfort somewhere, like butterflies on the tummy? Your breathing may be a bit shallower. Your heart may beat a little bit faster if you think about not having it perfect. Bring all of that into your awareness and then join me for a bit of tapping. Even though I'm procrastinating because I want this to be perfect and I'm not sure that it can. So it's easier to not finish it, easier to not get started. And I soothe and comfort myself. Even though I want my project to just be so perfect. And I can't be sure that it will be, so it's easier to procrastinate. And I soothe and comfort myself. Even though I want it to be perfect. And what if it's not? I'll be judged. People will criticize it. Somebody won't like it. And that will feel horrible to me. And I soothe and comfort myself. So let's just go through the tapping round or through the tapping points. I want it to be so perfect. I'm a perfectionist. It has to be perfect. I can't put it out there in the world if it's not perfect. It has to be perfect. I put so much pressure on myself to have it be perfect. If it's not perfect, I just cannot put it out there. Because, and then think for yourself, what is your reason? I can't put it out if it's not perfect because. Listen internally. What is that reason? Maybe there's many. Yes, some that I've encountered in my own life and some of my clients. I do the finger points as well. So if you don't want to use them, just go back to the top of the head point. I can't put it out there if it's not perfect because people will judge it. They will criticize me. They might think that it's awful. And then I might feel embarrassed or humiliated. I want everybody in the whole wide world to like my work. I want everybody to approve of it. So it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect for 8 billion people. Or at least for the million who's going to read it. That's a huge amount of pressure because there could be 1 million opinions about what is perfect. It's got to be perfect. Otherwise, it's not good enough. I feel all this tension in my body, mind, and brain about having it perfect. I just have to have it perfect, or it won't be good enough. Now rest your arms, take a nice deep breath in and out, and let it out like a huge sigh. Oh. And just check in. Notice again what it's like. What do you notice when you think about your project, whether it's writing a book, an article, a blog, making a video, producing something, putting it out into the world, and it's got to be perfect. Just notice maybe the pressure is a bit less. Maybe you don't feel so tense in your body. Maybe there's something else, another emotion that showed up for you. And let's just continue for one more round. And then I would invite you to do this as often as you need to in order to get your project done. Even though I still want it to be perfect, maybe I can just be open to the idea that it doesn't have to be perfect for 8 billion people. Even though, of course, I still want it to be perfect. I'm a perfectionist. Perhaps I can be open to the possibility that not everybody has to like my work and that the right people will find it acceptable and good enough and perfect even for them. Even though, of course, I still want it to be perfect. I've been a perfectionist for a long time and it's not going to shift. Everything's not going to shift right away. And that's okay. Maybe I could be open to the possibility that it truly doesn't have to be perfect for it to be good enough, and that I can put it out there and it's going to help lots of people. Of course, I still want it to be perfect. I've called myself a perfectionist for such a long time after all. Yeah, I want it to be perfect. And perhaps I can be open to the possibility that it doesn't have to be perfect for everybody. That it can be perfect for me in a way that's right for me. Maybe I get to decide what perfect looks like. It doesn't have to be perfect in everybody's books. That's impossible to follow. Maybe my version of perfect is I get to speak my truth. I get to shine my values into my work. Maybe my version is perfect. My version of perfect is just to be able to get it out there, actually. Maybe my version of perfect is to say it in my authentic voice and to tell a story that I've not told before. Maybe I get to decide what is perfect. And even if 1 million people don't all agree with that, that's perfectly okay. Because I'm getting to write my story. I'm getting to do what's important to me in a way that's right for me. Who knows? Maybe I can start relaxing into that I can be myself. And that exactly that is what's going to help people when they read my work, when they see my work. And those that don't resonate with it, that's okay. They will find somebody else that they resonate with. But I get to do it in my way, in my authentic way, my version of perfect, because it works for me. Maybe my inner perfectionist can make a little bit of peace. That in fact, there isn't one perfect way. There isn't one exact right way to do things. And I get to decide in every moment what's right for me. Maybe I can be open to that possibility and just invite my body to start relaxing and softening around that. Maybe my inner perfectionist can take a little break while I get to do what I love, which is write or produce a piece of art or a work. And then rest your arms, take a nice deep breath in. And just notice again what you feel like now. If you think about producing your work, completing or starting that blog post, writing your book, making a video. Maybe this video didn't solve or cure all of your procrastination and perfectionism, but the wonderful thing is you can repeat this, play the video again, or take some pieces of this and go away. And while you are sitting writing, just do a little bit of tapping for that slave driver, the perfectionist inside of you that tells you it's never, never good enough. There's so much more we can do with tapping. This was a little sample of it. And if you work with me individually, of course, we would go down very different routes because there's usually some things that happened in our lives that taught us that it's got to be perfect or else. And then we would go down some of those routes and help you individually to solve some of those pains and hurts and sadnesses of the past. I hope this was helpful. My name is Liesl Tevisham, and I work with sensitive souls who don't like the spotlight and yet who want to make a difference in the world. Thank you for tapping along with me, and keep going. Write your work. The world needs it. Take care.